This is the GMEA Concert Band Lyrical Etude excerpted from Weissenborn, Volume 2, Number 21, in F major. I'm going to begin by playing through the excerpt from top to bottom without the aid of the metronome. We'll probably be just a little under the tempo range that's given. I'll briefly discuss some of the challenges that I'm coming across in learning this piece, and then I'll set the metronome to the top end of the tempo range and give you a performance with the metronome. Doesn't quite end in the same place that it starts. It seems to end in A minor. So, a couple of things to keep in mind while working this piece up. First off, the meter shifts are very unusual. You start out in 6/4, and then you shift to 4/4, and then there's another bar of 6/4 in bar 5, and you got to keep in mind where the downbeats are. Because this is a kind of a slow tempo, it's kind of hard to keep track, but you don't want to feel like you're playing just in a constant 1/4. So make sure you're always going to the downbeat, even if it seems a little far in the distance. A lot of dotted rhythms. So opening up with a dotted quarter note, followed by 4 30-second notes. A lot of dotted rhythms, a lot of turns. Make sure you're learning them accurately. Make sure you're learning the rhythms accurately, and you're counting them accurately. We also have a couple of double dotted rhythms. If you're not familiar with those, the double dotted quarter note followed by a 16th note is the same as a quarter note tied to a dotted eighth, and to a quarter note tied to a dotted eighth note, followed by a 16th note. And I don't know if this is going to come clear across the camera, but I've illustrated that so you can see right here what the double dotted quarter note and 16th note is equivalent to. And I also want to show you how I've marked these beats in my music. So you can see I've marked 2 hash marks for the 2 beats while I'm counting that first note. Same over here. This is kind of hard to do. It's a mirror image. Same over here. So you can see I've put the beats where they lie in the bar to help me count these longer notes. I always tell my students, don't take for granted notes that are longer than a beat. You always have to count while concentrate on playing your instrument. It's always kind of a multitask. You may have noticed that my trills, when I'm playing them in a lyrical etude, they're not hurried. A typical trill for me is kind of bap, 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 bap. What I'm trying to demonstrate is I'm not moving my finger that fast. A bigger challenge than, so a lot of students see ornaments, see trills, see grace notes, and think they're meant to be played fast. They are not necessarily. What's important, though, is that I land on the next note. That was a trill over a half note. Then what's important is that I count that half note accurately and land on the high A in bar 5, right on beat 3. 1, 2, ba-da-bum. Okay, so make sure that as you're practicing that you're counting that you're practicing counting while trilling. It's a skill we all have to learn. And finally, we've got some cascading trills in bar 7, followed by these 2 turns right in a row. So you've got to be constantly thinking ahead, but again, don't rush the trills. Don't tense up on them. Just a couple of just a couple of oscillations on the E and the C, and go on with your life. So now I'm going to set the metronome to 72, but you are given a range, and even more important than that, I always have to stress that that whatever tempo you audition on should be what you're comfortable at. It kind of doesn't matter how closely you line up to the number that's on the page. That's just a number. What you want to do is convey the music. And if that is at 64, if that's where you hear it and where your fingers are comfortable with all these turns and ornamentations, the panel's not going to notice the difference. The panel's not going to care. If you try and hold yourself to 72 and it sounds frantic, which may happen for me, the panel's going to hear frantic playing, not going to hear uncomfortable, uncontrolled. So err on the side of comfort. And if you don't quite, if you're not quite comfortable with the tempo that's on the page, present what you can comfortably present. So that did feel frantic towards the end there. I don't know if you heard it. So it might ease up with a little more practice. And by the way, the last 3 notes, I just ignored the metronome. I wasn't trying to line the retard up with the metronome or anything. So I hope this was helpful. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help you with, and good luck with your preparation.